Welcome back to Breakfast Television. The elections are right around the corner, and to help us dig into all of the things that are going to be at issue, Patrick White, managing editor of HuffPost Quebec, is joining us. Good morning. Thank you so much for taking the time. We were talking just during the commercial break about the different parties, where they stand. I do want to go back to something that we've been talking about on the show for the last hour and a half, identity politics, right? We've seen it played out a lot stateside. How much do you think it's going to affect this coming election?
Well, I think identity and immigration are going to be like two key issues during the campaign. You know that the main stance of the CAQ is cut taxes and cut immigration by about 20%. Mr. Legault, who's right now leading in the polls, he wants also some kind of test when you come to Quebec.
Right.
Learning the French language. I don't know if it's going to be a test of values or a test about the knowledge.
Which proved to be very dangerous for the PQ.
Or a test of knowledge about Quebec or Canada.
Yeah.
But still, this is where we're going to be heading. And obviously, the Parti Québécois doesn't want to play this game. They want to talk about the regions. They are happy to laugh about themselves. If you've saw the ads that they've been running for the past 2 days, it's very interesting the kind of advertising strategy that they're having, because they know they've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
If the PQ gets under 12 seats, they actually lose party status, and that will be a first since 1970.
Do you see that happening, though? Do you see that happening, given this is Quebec, given the history of the Parti Québécois?
Well, the PQ is at 16% right now. It's going to be a long campaign. I read on Radio-Canada last night that the campaign is going to be launched on August 23rd instead of August 29. So it's going to be like 39 days. It's going to be a very long time for Mr. Legault. He's going to be under attacks for the three parties. And the PQ is still there. It's pretty weak right now. But if they're able to keep a couple of seats here and around Quebec City and other regions of the province, if they are able to stay over 12 seats, they're gonna save themselves. Otherwise, they're gonna have to rebrand. Mr. Lisée is gonna have to leave this fall, and maybe Mr. Pelado is just getting ready for what may be happening this fall. He's still there.
You're putting that out there. Okay, all right. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the CAQ and the Libs now, because here's what's happening, right? So right now, everyone is saying, okay, Mr. Legault is in the lead. But given the history specifically here in Montreal, as soon as you think anything else but the Liberals, the fear of separation, the fear of a referendum comes going. So maybe it's easy to say, okay, right now, we're not there yet, so people can maybe play around with two different options, but Anglophones tend to obviously go the anti-separation, anti-sovereignty route and tend to always vote for the Liberals. Is this not going to happen this time around? Is that really on the back burner, as you think, as you were saying to me?
It is on the back burner. Even the Parti Québécois is going to bring it back during the campaign. I think for Mr. Legault, he's going to have to prove that he's the right person for the job.
But he also has to prove that he's not a separatist, that he's not, I mean, you know what I mean? He said
never.
Not. I know, but he said never, never say never.
A lot of the people in his team are coming from the Parti Québécois, including candidates. He's not in favor of separation anymore, but he's a former PQ cabinet minister, and he knows that he's not going to win the Anglophone vote. So that's a challenge for him. He needs to be able to make some wins in the Montreal area and around Montreal.
And do you see that happening?
Well, I think you cannot exclude right now the possibility of a Liberal minority government if Mr. Legault does not have a strong campaign. He's not a charismatic personality. Getting attacks from the three parties during 5 or 6 weeks is going to be very tough for him under the scrutiny of tens of reporters, checking out every social media.
Everything he's ever done, right? Everything. Let's talk a little bit about Couillard, because we're running out of time. If I'm the Premier right now, what am I thinking?
Well, I need to call the election ASAP before people change their mind. I need to be able to talk about my record, despite the fact that they launched an austerity program during those 2 years.
How does he separate himself from that?
Well, you need to show we made sacrifices. The money's there now. We're able to reinvest.
We tightened the belts, but it was for your own good.
We want to reinvest, and we want to be there to pursue this program that has been ongoing. But they've been around for 15 years, so most Quebecers think it's time for a change.
So you're feeling that people will vote for a change more than...
I think it's strong right now, but a 5-week campaign can make a whole difference.
A whole difference. And very quickly, because we're running out of time, Barrette, is he going to stay, or is he, because he is quite unpopular with many people, do you think that that'll be like a big movement, a big change that he'll make to
Mr. Barrette is the incarnation of what went wrong with the Liberals and the way they manage the health system.
Yeah.
Some progresses have been made, obviously, but overall, people feel that he was too much of a centralized approach to health, and it did not work out, actually.
We will have to have you back all the time now.
Looking forward to it.
As we're getting closer to this, again,
it's going to be a very interesting campaign.
Yes, it's going to be very interesting. Managing editor of HuffPost Quebec, thank you so much for taking the time. We'll see you very soon. Stay tuned. You're watching Breakfast Television on City.